Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. It's Niall, and I'm delighted, as always, to be joined by our stateside rep, Thomas. And we're here in final prediction mode for a huge fight in the States, the massive, undisputed super middleweight world title fight between the two Mexican warriors, Canelo Alvarez and Jaime Munguia at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. So yeah, this is going to be special, Thomas. For first of all, hope you're well, and secondly, let's jump in before we get to our final predictions. I just want to kind of get your views on the fight. How excited are you for this one? Like, of course, the kind of popular vote would have been a David Benavidez that us fans wanted, but there was also other names mentioned like Edgar Berlanga, Jamal Charlo, even Terence Crawford. So. What are your thoughts on this? Are you excited for this one?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I think most fans probably wanted to see him fight Benavidez first, um, myself included. But I'm more than happy with this fight. I think stylistically, this can't be a bad fight. There's no way. So, um, and also I'm excited to see Jaime Munguia, finally take a step up and test himself against the elite class of the sport. I kind of feel like he's been at this level for the past 6 years, ever since he beat Saddam Ali, where he's kind of been fighting the same level of guys. So I think this time around, or I'm hoping this time around, you will get a good sense of how he performs um, at that level against Canelo.
Yeah, I have to agree with everything you said, in terms of it not being Benavidez. It's unfortunate, but there definitely could have been worse options out there than Jaime Munguia. I think it's a really good fight, and as you say, the styles, it surely can't disappoint. It really can't. And yeah, also as you mentioned, Munguia finally getting the big name on his resume. Like, it's been so long coming. I know he's still a young man, but still, it's been too long since he got this kind of standout stellar fight, and there's no bigger, of course, in and around his weight class than Canelo Alvarez. So let's see, can he pull it off? So yeah, what we're here for, to kind of give our final predictions. Let's the floor is yours. Can Munguia take the torch in what's been described as a possible passing of the torch, or will Canelo kind of get it done? What are your thoughts?
You know, um, there's been a lot of talk recently about how Canelo is on the decline. And I think in this fight, we're really probably going to see whether or not that's the case. He's fighting a guy that's significantly younger than he is. So, and, Mungia's style, he likes to throw punches and bunches and really push the pace. So, if you're going against a guy like Canelo, um, with Munguia style, that's what you want to do. I think you want to make him work. And, but the real question is, like, how well is he going to stand up under Canelo's power? Like, has he faced anybody with punching power of Canelo? I'm not sure, to be honest. So if he can stick up to that, I see him doing well and giving Canelo issues. But I think at the end of the day, Canelo's power will be the difference. And after an exciting start, fun fight, I would say towards the championship rounds, 10 or 11, uh, Canelo breaks him down, gets a stoppage after an accumulation of punishment, maybe a body shot. But yeah, it would take a lot to stand up under the punching power of Canelo, especially if you haven't fought anybody who could really punch like Canelo. So we shall see. But in my prediction, Canelo TKO 10 or 11.
Interesting, interesting. It's a good point that you make. What you said there. First of all, of course, there is the kind of narrative that has Canelo declined. I think it's a bit of an unfair narrative, to be honest with you. I think It's based on two fights. John Ryder, which, I think maybe he was guilty of taking lightly, and Dimitri Bivol, who even on Canelo's best day probably would have lost to Dimitri Bivol as would kind of anyone else. So I do think it's unfair. But if it is the case, we're gonna find out on Saturday night because there's no worse person to face. I think stylistically, if you are on the decline, then Jaime Munguia, as you mentioned, the power, the bullet strength, volume punching, he really has the kind of tools to make it a tough night's work. That being said, for me, in the whole build up to this fight, I just can't get out of my head how sloppy Munguia is defensively and how easy he is to hit. Like I'm a big Jaime Munguia fan. I think he's so exciting with the power and his style, but he's so crude. That's what makes him exciting. That's kind of his flaws make him what he is, but there is big flaws there defensively. He just does not move that head off the center line. Even last time out against John Ryder, it was a fantastic performance, but Ryder still tagged him at will. There, if you watch that fight back, he still tagged him. And if that's Canelo, as you mentioned, with the power and the sharpness of counter punching, you're in for a long night. So yeah, I just think going through his fights, Derevyanchenko, Liam Smith, Dennis Hogan, John Ryder, they all tagged him at will, to be honest, when they let their hands go. So I do think that will be his undoing here, to be honest. I think Canelo will be too experienced, too sharp, and kind of expose those defensive frailties of Jaime Munguia. I'm gonna go for a points win for Canelo. I think it'll be a points win, but going on to your point of a late stoppage, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I was nearly kind of edging towards a late stoppage as well, but I do think, to Mungia's credit, I think he'll be just about tough enough to see the final bell. But I think Canelo will be too experienced, too power, too sharp, too quick, and yeah, just he'll kind of give him a bit of a lesson in there. But yeah, that's our predictions for Jaime Munguia, Canelo Alvarez, undisputed world super middleweight championship, Saturday night, the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. We've got Canelo late stoppage for Thomas and Canelo points for myself. So let us know in the comments what you think. Can Jaime Munguia produce a big upset and take the torch from a Mexican great, Canelo Alvarez, or will Canelo Alvarez prove that he's not finished just yet and get the win against the very strong, powerful, unbeaten Jaime Munguia? As always, don't forget, drop us a like on the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all social media. Always great content coming up on a regular basis, especially now. Such a hectic schedule of boxing. It's amazing. So keep an eye on the channel. And yeah, Thomas, speak again soon.
Likewise, thank you so much.